They say that the future belongs to the ones who dare to dream. And in this league, we truly believe that saying. We welcome you once again live from the Medpark Sports Center in Pasay City. This is the one and only Ndsl Basketball Series, our second conference this 2025. My name is Cholo Pangilinan, covering the action with Kyle Sanchez, and at the sidelines we have Daniel Legorgia. And we're in our fourth game of the day. Back in the 25 and under division. This time it's between Smash Basketball and the Perpetual Altas. So we're back to the big boys going at it. And for sure there's going to be one heck of a match. I mean, against Smash Basketball, not really a household name when it comes to collegiate, because they're not a college team. Although, again, if you've watched last conference, talking about how they play, you know that they've beaten NCAA teams. You know, they've put up a fight against NCAA teams even though they lost some. So definitely that's going to be hopefully the same case against Perpetual Altas.
Normally these club-based teams are at a disadvantage compared to school-based teams because of the lack of preparation sometimes, or lack of chemistry and familiarity. But Smash Basketball, considering how they performed last season, you know that they're always going to put up a fight against these school-based teams.
Indeed, that's something that we will look forward to. But for now, let's turn it over to our venue announcer, Gio Cruz, for the start of the ball game.
As we bring you the continuation of Ndsl Basketball Series second conference. We are on the 25 under division featuring the Smash Basketball and Perpetual Help Altas. Now let us meet the starters first for Smash Basketball. Starting guard number 1, Patrick Zoilo. To guard number 10, Noel Zipagan. And forward number 35, Eugene Gonzalez. Also at forward number 75, Patrick Garcia. And at center number 19, Charles Vega. And now let us meet the starters for Perpetual Help Altas. Starting guard number 13, Indigo Montemayor. To guard number 2, James Rojas. And forward number 12, Nat Sevilla. Other forward number 51, TJ Tabon. And man in the middle, number 28, Ronald Cogwiran. Perpetual Help Altas is led by Jam Lipae. This is your Ndsl Basketball Series Second Conference, Liga ng Atletang Pilipino.
So once again, this match is in the 25 and under division. Smash Basketball going at it against the Perpetual Help Altas. And again, as I've mentioned, itong Perpetual Altas, of course, another formidable team in the NCAA in the seniors division. And of course, itong Smash Basketball, a non-collegiate team, but again, for sure, with the amount of tournaments they've joined, with the amount of players that they have, you know, they're gonna put up a fight against any team you put them up against.
Oh, definitely. We've seen this team last season, and they are a feisty bunch. And you can't count them out. Of course, they may not have the household names that some other teams have, but once they are on the floor, they don't show any fear whatsoever. Noticeably absent, though. I'm not sure if he's on the lineup. We'll have to double check. A good friend of mine and a former teammate of mine, Rafael Flores, not here for Smash Basketball.
Well, he did play in the first conference, so hopefully he's also part of this lineup. Meanwhile, that's going to be 2 misses for both teams. Also from 3 ball. So for the Perpetual Help Altas, looks to be composed of mostly Team B players. Maybe 1 or 2, or maybe 3 coming from their Team A. Nevertheless, for sure, they're going to try to, you know, see who can really contribute big time. As again, that is the primary goal of joining leagues like this one. As Baldoria gets greatly bothered inside the paint. So 14 to shoot for the Perpetual Altas, as Rojas will trigger the inbound. Zoilo on him. Montemayor, one-hander, way short, but they get it back. And now we're turning it over to Daniel Aguardia for a report.
Like all teams, the Perpetual Altas are always looking for opportunities to grow and learn. With half of the team coming from the juniors champion team, these homegrowns have learned the system. The question now by Coach Jam Lepa is, how will they execute it? Facing a club team in their debut here, Coach Jam shares that they are the most dangerous because it's a battle with a team you can't scout. He even said they're like the White Walkers in Game of Thrones, unknown and dangerous. Cholo and Kyle?
Thank you very much, Daniel. And I love the Game of Thrones reference. So who will be the Jon Snow of this Perpetual Altas? Lumalabas yung pagka-nerd natin eh, no?
Oh, that's right. Of course, one of our favorite shows. Except for that last season.
So let's see if this will be a red wedding of a game. Okay, last na yun.
And we have an update on Rafael Flores, as mentioned. Well, binulungan tayo ni Daniel Aguardia. Apparently, Rafael has an MCL injury, so best wishes and get well soon, speedy recovery, and hopefully the rest of his teammates will be able to step up in his absence because he is their main point guard.
So Gonzalez will be shooting freebies. First one is good. So that's their first point of the game. Still no field goal so far. So 3 minutes passing by our chapter 1. Alley-oop play is completed. That's Baldoria completing the play. On the other side, it's Charles Vega making something happen. But that's their first field goal of the game. Talking about smash basketball. This time Tabuan. No foul call, gets it back. Sends it inside. Now outside to Rojas. Settles for a mid-range jumper. Won't work. Zoilo now in transition. Zoilo, no-look pass. Gonzalez finishes.
That was a strong finish, despite the contact. And now we're all tied up at 6 apiece.
So fast-paced first quarter. At least the pass possessions are. As Gonzalez snaps a steal. But Zipagan will turn the ball over back to Perpetual Altas. So two-man substitution for the Perpetual Altas. Baldoria hands it off to Tabuan. They swing it around. Rojas inside again to Tabuan. Power move. Not that time. One more try. Still not falling. But Baldoria gets it back. Tabuan baseline drive. Stops. But he travels.
Oh yes, he shifted his pivot foot. And that was right in front of our officials.
All tied up at 6. Gonzalez hands it off. Zipaga now, the other Gonzalez. Vega, rather Garcia. Zoilo goes left. Stolen here by Perpetual. Rojas at the break. He will finish for 2. 2-point lead for the Altas. As we're past the halfway mark of our first period. Meanwhile, Gonzalez losing it. The Altas in transition. So two-man substitution this time with the side of smash basketball. Yao enters the game, same with Ambrosio. So quite a small backcourt on the side of the Perpetual, or rather of the smash basketball group. Let's see if we can work wonders for them. And on your screens, it's Mark Baroka. He's just wearing a cap and someone's standing in front of him, but that's Andy Mark Baroka, of course, of the Magnolia Hot Shots in the PBA. Meanwhile, Baldoria off the window 3, it's good.
You'd have to wonder who he's watching here.
Or maybe he's got a coach soon, who knows?
I wouldn't be surprised. Mark Baroka always been one of the smartest basketball players in Philippine basketball. There we see him together with his son. And of course, once his playing career is over, I would be surprised if we see him on the sidelines.
And speaking of the Magnolia Hot Shots, I believe that there's a rumor that Eli Tenorio will be the next head coach of the said squad.
Yes, I've heard the rumor as well, and I wouldn't be surprised either if they name him the new head coach. Of course, Magnolia under the San Miguel family and the same umbrella, and he has been slowly trying to rack up some experience in coaching, being an assistant coach of the Letran Knights and head coach of the Gilas youth program. And so far, he's been doing good in his coaching stints. Now we'll see if the rumors are true, if he can handle a head coaching position for a senior team for the pros.
And let me just say, LA Tenorio has accomplished a lot of things, but may I remind you, that guy conquered cancer. So if that's not impressive, I don't know what is.
That's right. Any obstacle that he may face moving forward will pale in comparison to what he went through the past couple of years. And we're just glad to see him healthy and contributing again to the totality of Philippine basketball.
Meanwhile, gutsy shot from Benji Yao.
And that's my basketball idol growing up, him and JV Castro.
And of course, Mark Baroka. But he's still playing, so.
Oh yes, Mark Baroka. Not sad to say, not too far from me age-wise. So growing up, I wasn't really watching him because we grew up together. I mean, around the same time. I mean.
So maybe for me, yeah.
Yes.
Eleven to 9. So apparently, after making a long bomb, speaking of Benji Yao, he just committed an unsportsmanlike foul, but our officials will take another look on what exactly happened.
Oh yes. We didn't notice what happened in that play here.
I mean, props to Smash Basketball. Again, if you're going up against an NCAA caliber team, you would want to be, really feisty, but perhaps not to the point of committing unsportsmanlike fouls. So I think that's the best angle to look at the action.
Our officials immediately calling for an unsportsmanlike foul on the floor, so I'm sure they saw something we obviously did not, and it looks like the initial call will stand.
So a tough break for Smash and for Benji Yao. I mean, he made basically a 4-pointer a while ago. That was a great way to start the game. Nevertheless, if you're Perpetual, you would want to take advantage of these moments. The first one is good, as they'll have one more possession after this one. After the 2 free throws, of course. 2 out of 2 for Danag. As we have under 3 minutes remaining in our opening chapter. Oh, stolen right here by Pimentel. Quick 2 for Smash. 13-11, Altas leading only by 2 points. Danag trying to find an open teammate. Up top, it's Borja. Borja almost lost it, continues to do so. Zoilo with a Zoilution at the break. And that's going to be the main advantage, perhaps, of Smash heading into this game, their speed. As we have a tied game at 13. Let's take another look at what happened right there again. Zoilo.
I like that nickname you gave him, the Zoilution.
Yes, sir. I called him Zoilution last conference, and looking forward to calling him that again for the next time we cover him. But for now, we'll take a short break. We go back to the action, all tied up at 13. After that, Patrick Zoilo and Pimentel breakaway lanes. But this time, Borja looking lost inside the paint. They're battling for the basketball. But Smash Basketball winning that wrestling match. So far, Smash Basketball holding their own against an NCAA team. Zoilo thought about the three, sent it inside. He gets it back. Patrick to the cutting teammate. And that's a traveling violation.
Good unselfishness there by Zoilo, rather. Unfortunately, a little too crowded in the paint there. Could have kicked it out to an open shooter.
No, that's Cristino, a former junior Altas, now turned senior Altas.
And you love the continuity of the Altas program that they have taken in most of their juniors players who have experience winning a championship. And even though that was in the lower ranks, that experience can bode well for them and give them that needed confidence as they move on up to the seniors.
Certainly, there's a different kind of confidence when you play for the same team in the seniors division. As we see, Ambrosio scored too. And a good example of what I've mentioned is Marco Cruz of the Perpetual Altas. Roluna, another juniors member, now turned seniors member, scores two.
That was an athletic finish from Roluna, switching hands in mid-air.
Meanwhile, Zoilo with a basketball outside. Now inside, Ambrosio, nowhere to go. Outside again. Pull up. Won't work for them. Rebound by Perpetual. Danag behind the back move. Dancing off his defender. And they hit from three. Courtesy of Tamayo. Last 5 seconds. Zoilo with a basketball. To the corner, Pimentel. That ends our first period, 20-15. 5-point lead held by the Perpetual Altas. And so far, Smash Basketball holding their own against an NCAA caliber team. Let's see if they'll be consistent with their performance. But for now, we'll be taking a short break. Back to the action here, 22-15. 5-point lead for the senior Altas. Entering the second period. And again, so far, Smash Basketball holding their own. Putting up a fight. Hopefully it'll be a consistent one. But for the first possession of this second period, Perpetual will have at it. So Thompson now bringing down the basketball. First time seeing action. Meanwhile, Roluna getting called for the travel. Perhaps hesitated too long on that sequence. As now Pimentel drops it. Smash Basketball circling the basketball around. Agustin, the spin, the attack. Won't work for him. And possession goes back to Perpetual. So Thompson, their primary ball handler, to start our second period. As a minute passes by. Montemayor, up top to the right side, Tabuan. Outside again, Montemayor. At the left elbow, it's Cristino. The spin. Oh, beautiful move coming from Jericho Cristino.
Over two defenders using that spin to free him up.
Meanwhile, Pimentel copying the spin but couldn't make the bucket. Thompson had great intentions for TJ Tabuan, just too strong of a pass. And now I turn it over to Daniel Laguardia for a report.
Smash Basketball may have fallen short of a title last conference, but they are back, and as said by Coach Richmond Boleche, they have been working on being consistent, especially when it comes to defense, and he only hopes to manifest the fruit of their labor this conference. As they are well-versed in Ligang Labas, going from places to places, they want to maximize all the time they can get to practice, no matter if there are only 6 players, less or more, they have no excuses. Now in the second conference, going against other school-based team as the only club team, Coach Richmond shares that it's the fire within these players that will surely help them give a better performance and even aim for a higher result. Chola and Kyle?
Thank you very much, Daniel, for that report. And indeed, that is the initial primary goal of this league. So let's see if that'll deem effective. But so far, it has been effective actually for both teams, not only Smash and Perpetual, but a lot of teams that has already joined and is currently joining in our tournament.
That's right. And it looks like an unsportsmanlike foul was called on that last possession. Our officials will have to take another look just to make sure they made the right call.
So more than 2 minutes passing by our Chapter 2. So far, it's a 7-point lead for the Altas. Nothing too crazy. Again, only our 4th game of this day. 2 more action-packed games coming up. So it's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul against Smash Basketball. And it's TJ Tabuan going to the line for 2 freebies and a possession for the team. However, first one is no good. It'll be a substitution. Again, Maglalang getting called for that unsportsmanlike foul. So it has to be Garcia checking in for him. Right now, no clear advantage in terms of height for Perpetual. Meanwhile, Tabuan fumbling that alley-oop play. We'll try one more time. He gets denied. Luckily for them, possession stays with Perpetual.
That was good help side defense coming from Smash.
Right now, Tabuan drops it inside to Thompson. Nowhere to go. And Thompson travels.
And for those wondering, yes, that is the younger brother of former Perpetual Altas and current Barangay Ginebra King and Gilas standout, Scotty Thompson.
Of course, was named MVP during his college days.
Oh yes, that was a loaded team. They had Joan Baloria and then a former teammate of mine, Harold Alboreda as well, and their FSA was Bright Akweti before he transferred to UP, of course.
All right, now Tabuan try to send it to Thompson. Stolen by Pimentel. Lightning fast move coming from Pimentel. And a chance to make it a 3-point play. Let's take another look. Active hands, turning defense to offense, and not to mention elevating with style. Three-point play completed for Pimentel, as it's a 5-point game, still in favor of the Altas. Kaugiran. Offensive foul called on him.
Lowered his shoulder into the defender. That's what made our officials blow their whistle. Of course, the coaching staff of Perpetual arguing that that was a flop, but our officials call is a final.
So a chance for Smash to trim down the lead again, as it's only at 5. Pimentel. Now it's Agustin. Hands it off to Garcia. The pull-up. Money for Garcia. So it's a single possession game, only a 3-point deficit faced by Smash. However, a foul is called on Patrick Garcia.
Number 75, Patrick Garcia is first. 15 on the shot ball.
15 to shoot in this possession for Perpetual, as it's Montemayor triggering the inbound. Rojas outside. Crosses to the right. Sends it outside. Tabuan for 3. Bingo!
Good play there from the Altas. A paint touch and then a kick out to a wide open shooter in the corner. Perfectly ran play.
So it's back to a 6-point lead for Perpetual. Stolen by Rojas. In transition, 2-on-2, Rojas will score.
This time Rojas deciding to take it himself. Not only can he pass that ball, he's also able to score. And now the lead is up to 8 for the Altas.
Patrick Garcia will try from deep. Won't work for him. And here comes Tabuan and company. We'll try one more time from deep. Too strong. Pimentel running. Drops it inside. Agustin, beautiful and smart move. Just like my type, beautiful and smart. Right now, it's a 6-point lead.
For any of the viewers there, huh? That's the mating call of my partner Chopang Ilinan, newly single.
9-point lead now for the Altas. Garcia attacking. One-hander, no good. And this time it's Pimentel. Agustin trying to get one more, but a foul is called. That's on Kaugirigan.
And that's his second foul already.
So they have to sub him out for now, as Agustin will be shooting 2 from the line. 6 minutes passing by our chapter 2. So far, the Altas escaping with quite a big lead, but Smash still holding their own so far. Nothing too crazy happening, as Agustin's first freebie is good. 2 out of 2 for Agustin. So it's down to a 6-point lead for the Altas. Montemayor up top. Cristino looking for an opening. Roluna this time. To the left side, Montemayor, he'll try a 3. Short. They get it back though. Immediately stolen by Sipagan. Garcia versus Montemayor. But there's gonna be an interference. So it's gonna count for Patrick Garcia. So lead is cut down to 5 points. Another look. Good intention from Montemayor. Just tapped that backboard a little too hard. Montemayor drops it to Cristino at the right elbow. Now he's up top. Hands it off to Roluna. Zipagan on him. Shot clock down to 6. Some off-ball action happening inside.
on the shot clock.
So 14 to shoot the next possession for Perpetual Altas. Bora way outside. 3 minutes remaining in Chapter 2. Luna this time. Nowhere to go. And he's called for a travel.
Well, I thought that was going to be called a foul on Gonzalez, but he stood his ground and forced that turnover. Good defense. And they're only down by 5. They still have a chance to get this lead before we head into the halftime break.
Meanwhile, Zoilo, no good on a pull-up 3. Rojas looking to set up the offense. He'll send it out to Luna. Montemayor will try a 3. Short again for him. Zoilo this time. Garcia at the short corner. It's Zipagan. Or rather, that's Gonzalez.
Perpetual not yet in the penalty. That's their 4th team foul.
14 on the shot clock.
So Yao back in the game. Again, had a great start with that beyond the arc shot, but was called for an unsportsmanlike foul a while ago. Speaking of beyond the arc, he'll miss that shot. Gonzalez forcing the issue. Won't work for them, and will turn the ball over to Perpetual. Out of bounds. Possession goes back to Smash. Over a minute remaining in Chapter 2. 31 to 26. The score has been stuck for quite a while. But Benji Yao changes that.
Yao and Zoilo, this combination has been working well for Smash. And they may be the shortest players on the floor, but they can really bring the energy.
Meanwhile, the attack. Outside dish. Baldoria goes left. The floater won't work for them. Zoilo grabs the rebound. 40 seconds remaining in our first half. Zoilo now using the pick. Inside. Rojas getting called for a foul.
And that's going to be 2 free throws since Perpetual is already in the penalty.
Holding foul number 2 takes Rojas his first penalty.
That will be 2 free throws coming up for Gonzalez. Good recognition here from Zoilo. As see in our instant replay, he saw Gonzalez had the mismatch in the post.
So a chance to actually tie the game up with, or rather, just a 1-point lead for the Altas. So 31 to 30. A while ago, they trailed by as much as 8 points. So good adjustment on their side. As we have under 30 seconds remaining in our second chapter. Meanwhile, risky alley-oop attempt coming from Mark Danag.
14 on the shot clock.
So it's a 7-second differential between the shot and game clock. Bora outside. Rojas this time up top. Zoilo trying to bother him. Danag outside again. Baldoria for 3. Won't work. They try to get it back. They do. But Smash now getting a hold of it. Last 5 seconds. The attack. Almost but not quite.
And that Pinoy step has been getting defenders off their feet. Earlier in the previous game, we saw Babacar Indong jump out of his shoes from a Pinoy step. And this time, Ambrosio getting the better of his defender.
The first one is good, as it tied this game up at 31. And a chance to take the lead just before halftime, and they do. But let's see if Perpetual can capitalize. And looks like they can. Mark Danag just at the nick of time. But just to be sure, our officials will take one more look. But nevertheless, that was a great play. No one was there to pick up Mark Danag. Good job on his part to sneak inside the paint and for his teammate to find him open. So let's see if our officials will count it. Yes, it is indeed counted. So there you go. Looks like the Perpetual help Altas will end this quarter with the lead after all. So it's 33-31. As we take a look at our move of the game, it's no other than the last play of this quarter. Again, Mark Danag sneakily finding an opening inside the paint for 2 points, and more importantly, to give his squad the lead just before halftime. And we'll be back for more action. Once again, this is the Ndsl Basketball Series. At the half, it's 33-31. Again, the Perpetual help Altas. With a 2-point lead after that last second shot coming from Mark Danag. And so far, Smash Basketball actually a great performance, holding up their own against an NCAA caliber team. Although again, we have to remember this Perpetual help Altas squad, it's not their main team just yet, just a developmental team. So still, very impressive for Smash Basketball, but we have to, of course, cut the Perpetual help Altas some slack. But hopefully that will be an excuse to lose this game as we enter the third quarter. First possession of the third belonging to Smash Basketball. The attack by Gonzalez off the window won't work, but they'll turn the ball over apparently, as a foul will be called against them as well. (33-31). Cristino nowhere to go. Inside. Cristino trying to get it back. Stolen by Zoilo.
That was a wild layup coming from Yao.
Sorry, miss again against a team like the Perpetual help Altas. You cannot afford to miss those kinds of easy shots. As Eugene Gonzalez redeems the 2 points.
Smash Basketball really making a point to go out and run on the fast break every chance they get, and they've been getting some easy looks because of it.
And that may be their best advantage entering this game as Tamayo overshoots. And another chance for Perpetual, or rather for Smash to take the lead as we have a tied game. A quadruple 3 in the scoreboard.
I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes down the wire again with the way these two teams have been going at each other.
Meanwhile, Benji Yao lights it up from deep. His third 3 of the game. And down the stretch, Smash will need his services. Tabuan drops it inside to Cristino. But unable to receive it properly was Cristino. Good thing possession will stay with them. They have 9 seconds to shoot. Thompson for 3. Overcooks the shot. Zoilo running the race ahead of everybody. Easy 2 points for Patrick Zoilo.
Again, this combination of Yao and Zoilo working wonders for Smash Basketball. They really push the tempo. But on the other end, of course, they will be tried and exploited in the post.
So Mark Danag recognizing that kind of advantage they have. Yao thought about the 3. Outside again to Zoilo. To the right side, Ambrosio. No good at the 3 ball. And here comes the Perpetual Altas. Thompson the bump, drops it inside. Great find to his teammate.
Thompson could have forced that shot. Instead, he found an open teammate, and now it's only a 1-point lead for Smash.
Meanwhile, Yao. Crazy shot. But it stays with them. Gonzalez the spin. But that's an offensive foul called on him. Smash up by 1 point. Under 7 minutes remaining in Chapter 3. So Thompson will be the one to bring it down. To direct the offense of the Altas. Tabuan trying to get free. Kaugiran gets it instead. Tabuan once again. He attacks right. Bumps into a brick wall. And gets called for a traveling violation.
And no whistle on the play there, so he had to have done something. He had to do something with the ball. Instead, he just stopped and probably was waiting for a whistle there. Turnover for the Altas.
Meanwhile, Yao attacks. Tough shot from Yao. Gets it back, and he puts it back in.
And Yao really plays with an infectious energy. And even though he hasn't, he's been exploited on the defensive end, on offense, he really provides a lot of looks for his team.
But that time, Cristino keeping it simple with a floater. Smash trying to answer back. Vega getting blocked. Great defense coming from Kaugiran. As the Altas a chance to take the lead here. Thompson trying to find an open teammate. Oh, inside, stolen by Zoilo. Patrick in transition to his teammate in Agustin. Unselfish play from Patrick Zoilo. And Smash Basketball is leading by 3 after that shot. We'll take another look. Zoilo once again with a Zoilution. As Agustin, hindi naman pinahiya itong teammate niya. We'll be back for more.
When it comes to these tight situations, coaches remind their players about defense and communication, which is exactly what both coaches told their players at halftime. For Coach Richmond Boleche, their goal of proving themselves strong enough to play against school-based teams with a system and consistent training, he told his players that no matter what happens in second half, we will not let go of the win and we won't allow them to take it away from us. They are here to stand their ground and show teams that they too can play at the same level as them. Cholo and Kyle?
Thank you very much for that report, Daniel. And indeed, you know, when you're a club team, there's always this unspoken chip on your shoulder every time you face school-based teams. But of course, the likes of Smash Basketball proving that even club teams can go toe-to-toe with school-based teams.
Well, that's right. Even though you may be at a disadvantage, so to speak, you still have to perform when you're out there on the floor. And almost all Filipinos know how to play basketball, regardless if you're on a school-based team or not. You still have to go out there and give your best. And so far, Smash Basketball still holding on to a 2-point lead against Perpetual Altas.
Let's see if they can be consistent with what they're doing right now. So far, so good for the boys in white. As Zoilo gets the steal. No-look pass to his teammate. Another 2 points. That time, Ambrosio completing the play. But that time, Cristino, no one was there to pick him up, resulting to that and one. The hoop in the arm for Jericho Cristino. And a bonus freebie coming up for the former junior Altas. Another look. They gotta give props to Rojas as well for finding the open teammate. So now a chance for them to cut this to just a 1-point lead. But not that time though. So Smash Basketball sticking with that Zoilo Yao backcourt tandem. Yao way outside, will try from deep. And with the looks of it, he has the green light to shoot those kinds of shots. Kaugiran trying to find Cristino inside. Stolen here. Ambrosio running. Agustin finishes.
That was a lazy entry pass coming from Kagigiran. And a good hands from Smash. Once again, deflecting these entry passes.
Certainly, Perpetual will have to do better with their passing inside, as it's already predictable. Over 3 minutes remaining in Chapter 3. 4-point lead for Smash Basketball so far. But Montemayor on the floor right now seems to be in pain, holding to his lower back area. Hopefully he's all okay though. But then again, there will be a mandatory substitution, so yeah, someone will have to replace him, at least for now.
I'm not sure where he hurt his back, or was it upon diving for the ball, or if there was a player who inadvertently hit him on his lower back. But it's good to see that he's able to walk it off, albeit with some assistance. Hopefully he'll be able to check back into this ball game. Still have another quarter after the remaining 3 minutes and 9 seconds here in the third.
So obviously nothing intentional on the side of Smash Basketball. But at least, you know, with those kinds of moments, Smash Basketball can make their presence felt physically.
Yes, of course. They have to double their effort, double the energy for them to be even have a chance of winning this game against the Perpetual Altas, who are trying to get a knockout play here.
Meanwhile, bodies on the floor, but it won't end up in a bucket for Perpetual. Zoilo, pull up three.
Having all the confidence in the world to take that shot with they had the numbers in transition, yet he opted to take what you would say an ill-advised three-pointer. But nevertheless, they're still clinging on to a 4-point lead here.
Danag sends it up top to Baldoria. Trying to find an open teammate. Finds Kaugiran. Shot clock at 8. This time it's Danag. Up against Zipagan. Crossover move. Stops. Losing the leather. And here comes Nathan Gonzalez to the cutting Zipagan. Now Zoilo. He gets denied by Rojas.
Once again, the pesky defense of Smash creating turnovers, which lead to these transition opportunities. Even though they weren't able to convert that time, still they keep possession and have a chance to score.
Another look on that Rojas denial on that Zoilo drive. Nevertheless, a chance again for Smash to redeem themselves. Zoilo at the corner. Is Gonzalez up top? Zoilo goes left. Looking for an opening. Finds Agustin. Settles for a mid-range jumper. And that'll work. But Rojas not wasting any time. Zigging and zagging to the cup.
A good move there by Rojas to simply evade the defense, running full speed.
45-49. 4-point lead for Smash Basketball. Make that 6 points. Over a minute remaining in Chapter 3. Baldoria up top. Gonzalez trying to bother him, but has been over-aggressive on that play.
And the Altas not yet in the penalty. That's only their second team foul.
Rojas. Oh, butterfinger sequence for Borja. As Garcia will try to score, he won't. He gets denied. Patrick Garcia, great defense. Or rather, Borja, great defense. Patrick Garcia was the one who got denied. As we have under a minute remaining in Chapter 3. So Smash will run a play. Agustin out of bounds. Possession stays with the boys in white. Garcia will trigger the inbound from the baseline. Agustin outside it. Zipagan at the left spot. Inside again to Agustin. Beautiful play from Smash.
That was great recognition, seeing that he had Agustin with the inside position.
And not to mention good defense as well. Garcia tapping that ball away out of bounds. There seems to be some contact inside off ball.
The call on the floor was an unsportsmanlike foul on Birria.
So 19.2 seconds remaining in our Chapter 3. So Zipagan was the one who got hit. Good thing he's standing up right now. Let's take another look, perhaps from this angle. So seems to be nothing intentional, but our officials will have to take another look. And it is indeed an unsportsmanlike foul. So that's another great break for Smash Basketball. Not only are you leading by 8 points, you have a chance to make it a double-digit lead before the fourth period.
That's the second foul for Anis Borja. Anis Borja will have the same for 3 minutes.
Another look on what exactly happened. Again, Borja extending that elbow. It didn't look like it was intentional, but then again, it's not about the intention. It's perhaps the result of his actions as Zipagan makes his first freebie.
Session for Smash Basketball with 14 on the shot clock.
So 1 out of 2 for Zipagan. And another possession for Smash. Again, a chance to put themselves up by double digits before the 4th period. Almost a steal, and Rojas completes it. Tabuan, the stop, and the score. But
Good
Garcia,
pass there from Zipagan.
unfortunately, Patrick Garcia not able to finish. But nevertheless, 2 freebies will be given to him as we have 2.5 seconds remaining in our 3rd period. First one is in for Patrick Garcia. One out of 2. Oh! That goes in from beyond half court.
And that looks like it's going to count for Roluna, who sidestepped a 3-pointer from 3/4 the length of the floor.
That was something else. Jan Roluna of the Perpetual Altas. So that is counted. Another look from the 3-point line of the other side of the court.
What a shot to end the 3rd quarter and swing the momentum back for the Altas heading into the 4th.
Indeed, only a 5-point deficit faced by the Perpetual Altas. We'll be back for more action. We go back to the action for the 4th and final quarter. Again, after that crazy long-distance shot coming from Jan Roluna, it's only a 5-point game. Although Patrick Garcia tried to found an opening, but just couldn't finish. Oh, wait a minute, there's a basket interference.
I believe because someone slapped the board, which affected the trajectory of the ball.
It's the second one of this game already.
That's right, so I guess it still worked out for Patrick Garcia, even though he missed the shot. Still 2 points for Smash Basketball, now up 7.
Inside, Baldoria, the fake, puts one up, he gets fouled as he got clipped on that left arm. So some free throws to open the 4th quarter for Kelsey Baldoria in the Perpetual Altas. First one is no good. Second one on its way for Kelsey Baldoria, another former junior Altas, now playing for their senior squad as he goes 1 out of 2, make it a 6-point game. Pimentel getting past Rojas, but it's stolen by Baldoria. No defender inside, Kelsey will finish. It's now a 4-point game, only a 4-point game. As Agustin, slow roll, Good for 2 points still.
What I like about the players of Smash is every time they're open, they don't hesitate to take the shot. They're not indecisive at all, and you have to be happy with the way they've been performing here today against the Altas.
Another look on that Kelsey Baldoria breakaway. And the answer coming from Agustin. Again, a slow roll. (59-53). 6-point game. Zipagan, crossover move, he attacks. Could have been counted if he made it. But it's going to be 2 freebies instead for Zipagan.
Number 77, Mike Donald does his third personal foul. 2 throws for the win.
The first one is good for Zipagan. And a chance to make it an 8-point lead. He won't. It's at 7. So let's see what the Perpetual Altas have in mind as Zipagan kicks that ball out of bounds. So 2-man substitution here for Perpetual Altas. Tamayo to the left side, Danag. Up against Zipagan. Outside again, Tamayo for 3. In and out. Cristino gets it back. Inside the paint. Taps it out of bounds. But Tabuan was there. Just couldn't make the shot.
Some open looks there for the Altas. Just in and out on some of their shots.
Meanwhile, inside. Garcia, no good on that mid-range jumper. They fight for it. Zoilo ends up with it. Tried an alley-oop play, won't work for them.
I like that hustle by Zoilo. He wasn't really in the best position to get that offensive rebound. He just had to sprint towards the ball. And you have to appreciate that sort of effort.
Indeed. All about timing and positioning. So 3 minutes passing by our 4th period. Smash with another chance. Oh, knockout play for Smash Basketball.
Well, you have to not be happy about that if you're Perpetual. And Tamayo caught traveling there.
So this lead of Smash increasing little by little. It's now at 9 points. And a chance to finally put themselves up by double digits. Ozoilo will lose it to Tamayo. And he will finish. Zoilo to the cutting Villanueva. No good for him. But his teammates sure would love him to score. Another look on that Tamayo clamp up against Patrick Zoilo.
Good decision to slow down there. Zoilo was trying to go for that steal and allow him to just pass by for that sidestep layup.
Mark Danag fadeaway 3. No good. Baldoria gets it back. Shot clock down to 10. Danag way outside. Cristino. They have 4 to shoot. He fades away. No good on that short corner.
It's going to be a foul here for the Altas. That's on Baldoria.
So lead is at 7 for Smash. And they have possession, so they can increase it again. But it's stolen by Luke Tamayo. Counter steal by Zoilo. Not a steal, but a foul after all. A correction, that's on Tamayo actually. So Zoilo was the one who won that match. And a chance once again for Smash to make something happen. Zipagan. Almost a steal for Cristino. Smash gets it across. Garcia, short on the attempt. In transition, here comes Tabuan. Against Zipagan, he scores. So it's down to a 5-point game. The Altas not get out of the woods. Zoilo, heavily guarded. Inside. Outside again, Zoilo. Inside dish, but overcooks the pass.
That was an awkward angle for that pass by Zoilo. It was already in the air. Could have taken that mid-range jumper. And instead, a turnover gives the ball back to the Altas. Perpetual, though, already in the penalty, so of course they can't afford to foul the rest of the way. While Smash still with 2 team fouls left before they're in the penalty.
Danag will try a 3. Gets it to go. And with that, he cuts the lead of Smash to just 2 points, 62-60. Big time 3 to keep the Perpetual Altas alive in this game. Mark Danag hits one from downtown, and we'll be back for more action. Back to the action here, 62-60 again. After that big 3-point shot from the top of the arc coming from Mark Danag, the score is now at 2 points away. And we have under 4 minutes remaining, so plenty of time for both teams actually to really steer away with a big lead, or at least a comfortable one.
That's not a good foul for the Altas. They're already in the penalty.
So a chance to tie the game up. Or correction, a chance to put themselves up by 4 points. Talking about Anthony Ambrosio and his friends. Ambrosio knocks down that first free throw. One out of 2 for Ambrosio, nevertheless. 3-point lead for them. Rojas. Pimentel looking to bother him. This time it's Tabuan. Escaping Ambrosio, but just couldn't make the bucket. Smash gets it across. Ambrosio gets blocked and denied.
And to make matters worse, the ball hits him on its way out.
It's a great defensive play from Cristino and company. As they'll have another chance at it. Butterfinger sequence on the side of Mark Danag. An unforced error on their part.
And such a crucial juncture of this game. Of course, you want to minimize your mistakes, or at least, try not to commit any if you can.
Pimentel crossover move. The pick from Gonzalez. This time it's Agustin. To Patrick Garcia. The stop. short. Danag is running along with his teammates. Kaugiran. Oh, that ball is tapped away by Gonzalez. Ambrosio this time. Easy 2 points for smash. It looks like the Altas will take it nice and slow.
Kaugiran was asking for the ball in the post.
Rojas for 3. Way off. And now we enter the last 2 minutes of this game. Smash Basketball with a relatively comfortable lead of 5. And not to mention they have the possession now. Ambrosio stops. Gonzalez inside a key jumper. Won't work and they get the board. Great hustle coming from Ambrosio. As we have 1.5 minutes remaining. Stolen by Danag. But a counter steal by Ambrosio. So not the best sequence if you're Perpetual. You would want to get a ball back, of course. Ambrosio using that pick from Gonzalez. Agustin inside this to Garcia. Outside to Pimentel for 3. Bingo!
That could be the dagger that puts the Altas away here. Still 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining. Still a lot of time, but that mountain that Perpetual is climbing is getting bigger and bigger, and that three-pointer could be the shot that puts Perpetual away. We'll see after this short break.
Back to the action here. 8-point lead now. After that, Pimentel dagger 3. As we have 1 minute remaining in chapter 4. So possession stays with Perpetual Altas. Rojas will be the one to trigger the inbound from the baseline. Danag trying to get free. Cristino ends up with it and scores. So it's a 5-point game. The Altas not yet out of the woods. And they force a turnover. So the boys in maroon still alive in this one. Let's see what the game plan will be for them. Rojas against Pimentel. Cristino up top. Gonzalez on him. Inside, stolen by Agustin. Not the best pass for Perpetual. Ambrosio, double team on them. Garcia scoring 2. And not to mention a turnover for Perpetual. Not the best sequences for them. 23.5 seconds remaining. It's starting to look bad for Perpetual. Not to mention they're trailing by 8 points. And the shot clock is off. And there you have it. Looks like Smash Basketball will just eat up the time. Tabuan will still try to foul, but there's only 8 seconds remaining, and they're trailing by 8 points. So really just a great performance for the boys of Smash Basketball. Again, when you're a club team, you have that unspoken chip on your shoulder, but moments like these, you realize that definitely, even club-based teams have a shot at winning against these quote-unquote NCAA teams. Obviously, not the main team of Perpetual, but again, we still have to give them their flowers.
Yes, they played very well today. Speaking of Smash, the much grittier team, and as cliche as it sounds, they showed today that they wanted it more, and they're off to a good start here in the second conference of the NDSL. And even though they're missing the services of Rafael Flores, they performed well as a team, and they're going away with a 10-point victory.
And there you go. That is our final score. A 10-point win for the boys of Smash Basketball. And very refreshing to see. Again, a club-based team able to knock down an NCAA team. As we take a look at our move of the game, that was Agustin zigging and zagging to the cup and finishing despite being in traffic. There you have it. And what a game it has been for them. Again, that is our final score, 72-62. And for our player of the game, it's no other than the same guy actually. It's Agustin, really making wonders on the side of the Perpetual Altas. Again, not really a big height advantage on the side of the Perpetual Altas. So great job for Smash capitalizing on that fact as we turn it over to Daniel LaGuardia for our best player of the game interview.
Thank you so much, Cholo and Cal. So Ken, of course, you were pretty consistent all throughout the game. And with the pressure brought upon the Perpetual Altas, how did you manage your composure, especially your focus up until the last second of the game?
Lagi lang po kami pinapaalalanan ni Coach na maging ready po palagi. Then expect po namin yung trap nila, yung mga hard show. Then kanina po bago mag-start yung game, nag-usap-usap po kami sa game plan namin. And thankful naman po at nangyari po yung gusto namin gawin sa game po.
Of course, you really made your mark, especially in your first game. You've won this. How will you try and continue this up until your next few games?
Siguro po doble extra lang po, training and workout para po hindi po kami mawala sa kondisyon, lalo po ngayon. Kasi po nung mga nakarang week, hindi po kami nakapag-ensayo kasi nga po sa mga bagyo. Pero ginawan po namin paraan para di po kami mawala sa kondisyon po. Yun po.
Well, hard work as always. Of course, you have a lot of people watching you right now. Would you like to greet or thank anyone?
Siyempre po, thank you po kay God sa panalo po. And thank you po sa manager po namin, si Ate Luisa, Kuya James. Siyempre po kay Coach, sa mga teammate ko po, sa lahat po ng player ng Smash, sa girlfriend ko po, sa family ko po, kay mama po, kay papa. Yun lang po. Thank you po.
Thank you so much once again. Congratulations, Ken, for that amazing performance. Let's get back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Again, our player of the game, that is Mr. Agustin, making wonders, helping his squad get the W. And that's a wrap for this game. That's our fourth game of the day. We still have 2 more contests ahead of us. So make sure to tune in to our Facebook live stream. Of course, you can watch it on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. But for now, we'll be saying goodbye. This has been Cholo Pangilinan, Kyle Sanchez, and Daniel LaGuardia. This is the second conference of the NDSL Basketball Series.